Well, guys, sunny morning to you. Yesterday, I went out for a few hours, and it was only a few hours and a few miserable hours, and here's why. High temperature yesterday was supposed to get to 32. It never quite did. We had winds pretty consistent at 15 to 20 with gusts blowing well over 30. When I checked on my phone, it was 16 degrees, and I have no idea what the wind chill was, but it was freaking cold. I don't feel, at least when I was out on the water, like it ever got anywhere above that. I could not fish the wind effectively the way I wanted to. So I ended up retreating to a cove and just decided that I was going to grind it out for 5 fish in that cove. And this is how it went down. Now, fishing conditions with wind, you kind of expect that maybe a reactionary bite would play. And I did throw the rig a little bit, but was kind of leaning on a jerkbait during the first course of my morning. But you see right here, I lay that jerkbait down and pick up a bait that I normally don't fish, and that's a Ned rig. What I actually had tied on was our probe finesse worm on a fidget tungsten shaky head. Now the fidget is a shaky head, but it's basically a net. It's an EWG net. It falls like a Ned rig, but it does allow you to rig things weedless. So they go through brush piles a lot easier than a normal Ned. And I just broke the tail of that worm off so that it would have a Ned-like appearance, and tossed it to the side. Now, I was just kind of dead sticking it, and honestly had seen something that kind of attracted my attention and was pulling the boat away from that area when I noticed I had a fish. Oh my God. Dude, the Ned rig does not freaking unbelievable. I did not expect that. First cast on the Ned. We got like a 3.5 pound spot. All I did was use our tungsten fidget, super finessey. I mean, the fish pretty much hooked themselves. I'd taken our probe worm in the money color. I just bit off the tail to create a Ned. There's no point in buying special baits for a Ned. It's ridiculous. So it's a buoyant worm. And we hooked up on this thing. Check out these little tattoos he's got. Look at that. Pretty cool. So I know from this video you guys are probably looking at this thinking, what wind is this guy referring to? And I am in a very, very protected area. So it isn't evident that the wind's blowing, but throughout the video I think you might hear some of the gusts coming through the trees there. To give you an idea how cold it was, every tournament that I'm aware of that was going to launch that particular Saturday canceled. It was an ugly day as far as temperatures go. So I'm typically not a wimp when it comes to cold weather. I've broken ice on plenty of ramps up north in order to access open water. I'm not afraid of the cold, but on this day I was just underdressed and underprepared for what I encountered. This is going to be a better fish. Oh yeah. Chunky action. Another one on that probe. I just removed the tail. No special Ned rig bait is necessary. This is our money color in the probe. Again, the tail snipped off on our tungsten fidget, which is a super finessey EWG one. All right, guys, real quick. What am I catching these fish on? This is our tungsten fidget shaky head. I mean, it's a Ned, a shaky head. It's essentially a Ned head with an EWG hook. So it fishes like a shaky head, but it falls like a Ned. So it gives a kind of a real erratic falling action. It's fantastic for winter. I actually use this exact head year round. It's always tied on. Typically I have our probe worm tied on. This is the actual probe. This is black, and I chartreused the tip on this particular one. But this is a 5.5 inch finesse worm, super finessey. But in this situation, to give it the appearance of a Ned, I just, as you saw in the video, I just bit the tail off. And this is the exact bait that I caught all those fish on. Definitely a better fish. 100% better fish. Oh yeah. Good largemouth. Really good largemouth. Oof. It's a nice Lake Norman chunk. We are back at the ramp, and I'm calling it a day. It's noon. I obviously I had a down coat, but underneath this down coat is a t-shirt. So I definitely didn't dress for it. I did not bring my bibs. It just didn't feel that cold when I was at the house. I did check the weather, and the weather said that at the time that I checked it, which was earlier this morning, that it was 20 degrees and the wind chill made it feel like 12. Now that was the forecast for Mooresville. It felt single digits out on the lake. Every cast I was trying to clean ice off of my guides, and it was freaking cold. Definitely felt really cold. Normally I'd be fishing points and things of that nature on a day like today, but I really just could not stay in that wind. That wind was just miserable. But again, I was underdressed. So, you know, next time I'll be a little bit more prepared. But we caught 5 fish. We had fun. You know, we pulled into a protected cove and just picked up the Ned rig and caught a few fish and got the line pulled. So, you know, some days are like that, and you know, to just be able to go out for 3 hours and catch a quick, you know, 10 or 11 pound bag is, you know, it's not a bad day. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time.